You're listening to Zap Nights Zap Chats, a monthly video game discussion. Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Zap Chats for February. I'm your host, Danny.
I'm your co-host, Kaylee.
Today, technically, we're recording this on Valentine's Day.
Love.
Last year for Valentine's Day, we talked about the love interests in games. Remember that?
Yep.
I don't have any fun topics for today. We're just going to talk until we figure something out. So, what have you been playing, Kaylee?
Stardew
Nice.
Valley.
Still?
Mostly. Well, yes. The new major update finally dropped on console, so I've been playing some of that new content.
Are you still playing the game that you started for the podcast?
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha.
It's convenient on the Switch.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Have you... I kind of caught that you were playing multiplayer with somebody,
Yeah.
or did you just, like, go to somebody's village and check it out? I don't know.
The way that they set it up was you're basically starting a new game. Well, the way this one was set up anyway. We started a new game, and the host has the main house, but there's like, I want to say 4 little mini shacks that are also houses, and I was in one of those, and you farm. You do all this stuff, you just are doing it together. I think you have the option to, like, have either share your money or have it split, and then you share, of course, your land, and you get to choose where, host chooses everything, he trumps all, but you get to place it wherever.
How does sleeping work?
It tells me like when the other player has gone to bed, or it says if I've gone to bed, and then you just are sitting there waiting for the other player basically to go to sleep.
I see.
But you can, for some reason, I'm terrible. I'm terrible when I play multiplayer for some reason. Like, I'll play this game no problem. I go through the garbage all the time because you get good items. And I would go through the garbage. I've been caught, I'm not joking, over 10 different times. Someone has caught me digging in the garbage. So now I've got like this trash panda kind of like, there you are digging in the garbage again. Like, I'm always in the garbage eating something gross.
This candy bar is still good.
But what's funny is it tells you, so-and-so has been caught digging in the garbage. It's like, you need to stop doing that. So, yeah, and then it'll tell you, like, when, like, if Kaylee donates to the museum or to the bundles and stuff. So,
well, that's cool.
Yeah,
that sounds like that would have been more fun for us to play that way.
So. It would have been, I think we would have gotten the community center done a lot quicker if we were doing that.
For sure. We would have made so much more progress.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, there are days that all I have time for is
watering,
plowing the field, and that's it.
Absolutely. And, well, it does suck. Like, we share our money, which means, well, yeah, we have 2 people. Like, I could go and forage, and we could be making money, but, like, only one, like I can't have my watering can being upgraded if they've got their watering can being upgraded, or, other stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
that's tough.
Delegating money, and it's hard. I haven't played a whole lot on co-op, but I've had a little bit of experience.
Yeah, no, that sounds like fun, actually.
I think it would have been a lot of fun if we had done that.
I could see picking that up as a side thing. Like, certain days we sit down and we play, Well,
it'd be good if we ever decide to talk about the newest major, because it was a major update. Like, a lot of new stuff. I believe ostriches are now an option.
I got horses and cows, I think, in mine when I finished. But that was like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, to have more animals. That's fun.
Yeah. So, different stuff. It's pretty cool.
Cool, yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. You're still playing.
Yeah, I'm still playing Valhalla.
Do you regret it?
I don't regret it. I'm legitimately having fun, and I would have regretted it more had I not ever played it. But I'm done. Like, I'm pretty much done with the game. The reality is I'm almost finished with the game also, but it's very repetitive. Spoilers for the next podcast episode. It's very repetitive. and I'm kind of bored with it, but I'm sticking it out because that's what we do on Zap Night is we play it all the way through. So I've committed this much time to it. So I'm following it through to the end. I'm almost done. Probably going to have it done this week. And then Brandon, he's probably really close to having it finished too. So, because I think he's ahead of me even.
Yeah.
But then, we'll sit down and review it before the end of the month. So I think we're in extremely good shape for having it be by the end of this month. And then come March 1st, we'll have this episode out. We're still working on the details of the next podcast episode. I'm burnt out on big games, so I think I'm going to take it easy next month and we're going to sit down and play something else. I'm kind of talking to Shannon, which is our other sister. We're talking to her about playing Oddworld, mainly because we sat down and played that for a podcast or for a thrift shop game, and it was a lot of fun, and now we kind of want to play it in its entirety. So if you want to check that out, you can go over to our YouTube page and see that it was just the 7th of this month we released that thrift shop review.
The thrift shop stuff, it's funny because some of these games are terrible, but it's kind of a nice, sweet moment when you can find a game you actually want to do for a podcast.
Well, and that's part of it too. I have so many games that there's no real world scenario where I'm going to complete all of these games. But because I do, the majority of our games are picked up at thrift shops, aside from the new stuff. It's nice to sit down and play these for that segment simply to get a chance to play them. Oddworld, I don't really consider Oddworld a thrift shop game. I did get it at the thrift shop, so it technically qualifies. But because I know that it's a major release, it's a major game in the PlayStation library, it's, I kneue that it was going to be a good game because it's so well known.
I have no idea what it is.
It's a side scrolling puzzle platformy type game.
I probably know what it is. I just don't know.
You might not. We never played it when we grew up. I had never heard of it. If you've ever listened to Eiffel 65, they have a song called PlayStation. And they actually say Oddworld in, so I knew of it from that, and I had looked it up because of that, but otherwise I've never played it until just recently. I didn't even know what it was until just recently. So, but yeah, it's a puzzle type game, platformy, puzzle, stealthy a little bit.
I'm gonna have that song in my head for the rest of the night.
PlayStation. I know.
When PlayStation was the top,
the system of choice. Yep.
What a time.
What was all of them? Let's see. Ridge Racer, Oddworld, Bloody Roar, Gran Turismo. I can't think of any more. I remember those. So they were in that song. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. I just wanted
but the nostalgia. Cute. So yeah, you're playing that.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan right now. It may change by the end of the month, but if that's still the plan, we'll let everyone know during the Assassin's Creed podcast episode. What's funny is I feel like the Assassin's Creed podcast episode is going to be this super long podcast because the game is super long, but the reality is there's not that much story. So I feel like we're just going to plow through this podcast episode, and here we've spent, I'm going on 100 hours of this game, and the podcast is going to be a half hour long.
Yeah, I sit in the same room as my husband because you're playing with Brandon, my husband.
Right, yeah.
I hear him talking about it, and it's... you can tell that he's done. And he's told me, he's like, he goes, I would not have played this if I had known. Is what he said. He's just constantly talking about the long treks across the map and stuff. So
I really like exploring. Again, we'll talk more in detail about it during the podcast. But I like
I don't know
chit chatting. But yeah, I really like just exploring. And that was a hardship that I had from the very beginning, where all I want to do is explore. And so, like, you explore to the point where you get sidetracked from your main focus of the game. So here I have like 2 or 3 parts of my gameplay where I've done nothing but just like explore. And I don't know, it's a lot of that. I mean, the game is wanting you to explore and do more, but like the reality is everything is so similar to itself. You go here, you do a raid. You go here, you do a raid. You go here, you do a raid, you assassinate someone, and then you progress the story by like a millimeter. And then you go here and do a raid, and you go here and do a raid. So it's like just the same stuff over and over and over again. The best part about it so far has been the side quests, because all the side quests the stories are very different, but like ultimately the gameplay is the same crap. Like, break into this house and save some chickens, or, you know, go to this location and find a key, or just like silly fetch quests, but they have their own stories roped into it. So that makes it more fun.
Well, from the podcast standpoint, though, you want to try and get this long game beat. It must suck.
Yeah, it's tough. This is the longest we've played a game ever. I mean, every single game that we've played, we've never put this much time. Not this much time as in
dedicated this much month time.
Month wise. Like physical time wise. It's weird because like Horizon Zero Dawn and like Animal Crossing, we put hundreds of hours into those games, but it was different because it was different because I think we were playing it more in the background, and then we finished it, and then we just brought it to the surface and said, we finished this game, and then we talked about it. Where this game, we started it, and I think streaming it has a lot to do for me too, where, you know, this is the longest I've ever streamed a game. Most of the games that I've streamed, like the Final Fantasy stuff, 2 months is usually the max. And usually by the halfway point through the second month, I'm pretty much done with the game. And here for me now, we're halfway point to, you know, into the third month. And I'm just now starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I'm just now getting to the end. But it's, you know, it's a long game. It's a big game. It's just too bad that it's so repetitive. But again, we'll talk more about it
so
next podcast episode.
That's had your full attention.
It really has. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play a lot of anything else. We've been buying games still. I just bought Mario 3D World. Nice. Excited to give that a shot. Yeah, haven't really played a lot of anything else. Me and Lori have been playing a lot of Overcooked lately. Oh. When we have some downtime, we'll sit down and play a couple rounds of Overcooked. It's one of those games that it's great,
like, winding down game. Maybe?
Well, no, not not at all. It's stressful.
Oh no.
But it's more of a good, like, if you have, you know, an hour to sit down and play. You can just sit down and play for an hour. It's stressful and you have to communicate. And if you're not feeling it, there's no point in playing. But if you're in the mood, you can get through a couple rounds and have a good time. And, you know, that's what we like about it. Always trying to get 3 stars in every single level before we move on. And some of them are really hard. Nice. Some of them aren't. But, you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, I can't say that we've really played anything else.
Yeah, I've had a lot of time off.
Yeah, I know.
But I haven't done a whole lot. I think it's one of those things, like, you get worked up for Christmas, and then after Christmas is done, then it's just cold and wet and snowy.
And that's kind of how it's been, seriously. It's been kind of just dreary. Yeah. I've been excited to start something new. But, you know, we've been talking about playing so many games. Like, we've thrown around so many different games in the past month trying to decide what to play next. And it's like, I just told you today, I'm like, you know, I'm not. There's no way. There's no way I can do another RPG right after playing Assassin's Creed. I need some time to just, like...
something different.
Well, something different, but also something that's not going to dedicate so much time.
Yeah.
Like, to pick up Final Fantasy IX right now, it
Yeah,
would
that would be
be
a long
the
time.
same schedule. Like it would be, I'd have to really be trying to play 3 days a week, 3 hours a night to be able to meet my deadline or, my goal time. And I'm just not quite ready to dedicate my time to it just yet. Like
Yeah.
I would rather have, a chill month, play Oddworld on the weekends with Shannon and just like
Yeah.
maybe get some housework done, we've got a bunch of rooms that we need to clean. My car is a mess. Just
Yeah, I hear ya.
stupid adult stuff that needs done that I've been putting off because Assassin's Creed has been pulling all of my attention.
So, yeah. It's been a really boring month, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've gotten something that we have done recently. We found a ton of really good deals at Walmart.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we went to Walmart, and it's funny because we walked in. We never go to Walmart for one. I
Smart
think
man.
we went in to look for Pokemon cards because right now there's like this great Pokemon card
Drought.
shortage, the great Pokemon card shortage of 2021. But so we were in there looking for Pokemon cards, and we got in there, and Lori said, "I feel good about this one. There's something about this one." So we went to the back, and we were looking at the games, and they had all these games for $5 a piece, and we're like, "Yes!" And they were good games, like Smash Brothers on the 3DS. We got Xenoblade Xenoblade. I think it was Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade 1 or
Yeah.
I don't know, it was something. And it was
It
only
was a
like
collection.
it was only like $10. And like seriously, that game is still, you look around and they're selling that game for $60 still. So like to find it for $10
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
You got me Nino Cooney and
Yep.
Rayman.
Yep,
There's
both
a few-
$10.
A few good ones.
Just Goosebumps. I mean, just a handful of games that just crazy
Yeah.
to find for $5-10. So
It was nice.
that was really cool.
Good find.
Then that next day I went up to a closer Walmart to check to see if it was just
Also,
that one or if it was more. And I found a couple PS4 games for $5, but not a ton of them.
You must have walked in there at like the perfect
I
time.
had to have, and it
The
was like
stars
it was like a
aligned.
Friday night. So I mean, maybe they were marking it down for the weekend or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to start watching that one more often to try and find stuff.
It doesn't happen very often, but we have found some pretty good deals too, like that. We found one of the Mario games for like $2.
Yeah.
We went and traded it in.
Yeah, I know. Well, actually, when I was there, I bought all of them because of that reason. Like,
You
yeah,
just traded it and make
they might not
small
be.
profit.
Well, I mean, they might not be. They're only $5 here, but yeah, I could either trade them in or I could, give them to you guys who not podcast you
Yeah.
guys, but like you and my other friends to share the love.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good games for a crazy price.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's neat to find stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm still on the hunt, kind of like a half-assed hunt, trying to find a PS5. Like, I don't know. I'm still like not committed to buying one yet, but
Should you find one in the wild?
I might. Yeah, I might buy one, but we'll see. I did end up buying yet another Switch just yesterday. That makes our total to like 7 Switches again. But this one is really cool. It's supposed to be a Mario themed Switch where the entirety of it is red. And that includes the back plate and the frame. So like it's all red. It's really cool. So it's very different compared to all the Switches that they've come out so far. And it's a full-size Switch, so it's not like the Switch Lights, where, those have a full color, but this one is a regular-size Switch. And it's a different color red than, like, the other Mario red ones that they came out with. So that was kind of neat. And then the dock is all red, too, so
Yeah, it looks really cool.
it is really cool.
I like it. It's pretty cool, contrasting.
I paid full price for that. It wasn't $5 at Walmart, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
It was one of those things like I saw it and I'm like, I want this, but I know that I shouldn't buy yet another Switch. But on the other side, like, I know that if I don't buy this, the price is going to skyrocket, and I'm going to be like, I saw one of those ones, and then I didn't buy it. So that's why I ended up just doing it. But, you know,
yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
I'm only in debt.
All this stuff will be worth a little bit more eventually. I'm not too worried about it. If I'm struggling that much with money, I just sell stuff. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal. I have stuff to sell.
Yeah, I've got quite the collection going. But yeah, all the wonky colors are pretty cool though.
I have most of the special edition Switches. There's very few that I'm missing. I think that there's a Splatoon Switch special edition. And there is, I want to say Fire Emblem, but I can't remember now that there's a special edition Switch for. But I have, we have a special edition Eevee and the Animal Crossing and Smash Brothers and now the like Mario one. So that's, you know, the majority of them. We got some Final Fantasy plushies just yesterday. That was kind of fun.
You got a Chocobo?
Yeah, a Chocobo, and I got a little Moogle dressed up in a
Tonberry.
A Tonberry outfit. It's super cute.
I almost got the little Cactuar, but you know, I understand why certain things are so expensive, but it's you see, as a collector, I'm sure you must know this feeling. It's hard to justify buying the prices, but you know, as a collector, you want those things. Like it's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I have that problem a lot. It's tough to find that balance of how bad do I want it versus, you know, is this a good deal or not? You know, I mean, there are some items that it doesn't really matter what price it is. I'm just going to pay it. Final Fantasy games, it's like that. Like I'm going to buy the biggest and the best Final Fantasy edition that I can get because that's what I do. You know, Final Fantasy is my favorite series. So I'm going to buy whatever I can find of it. Where like the other games, you know, I don't care. You know, if I happen to find the collector's edition, I have a collector's edition Fire Emblem. Like, I found it on clearance at a Target a long time ago, and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. You know, I got it on clearance for the same price as the normal game, so why not? But, you know, that's really the only time that I buy a I did get the collector's edition for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Horizon Zero Dawn is another one that we will be getting the collector's editions for. But like, you know, again, it goes back to that balance of how bad do you want it versus is it a good deal, you know? And a lot of our collection is thrift shop stuff. So, you know, we rarely buy stuff
but it's
full value.
Yeah.
Aside from brand new games. I mean, lately we've been buying a lot of brand new games because they come out and it's like, ooh, this is the next big thing. But like, you know us, we don't get a chance to play brand new games very often. Right. I mean, we do, but we try to mix it up so it's not always the latest and greatest game because not everybody cares. I like trying to play for us, we like playing older games and saying, you know, I like the PlayStation era games and I like, you know, Nintendo and, you know, whatever, you know.
You know, my kid is playing Animal Crossing on the Switch and you kind of want them, you've mentioned this before, you want to start them off on some of these older games, but it's also kind of hard when, you know, you trying to find an introductory game for them and just, I don't know. It's hard to, like the sweetest games for me were, I mean, we were playing on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But now they've got the Switch. The kids are growing up on the Switch.
Well, I think Nintendo's always been that way for introductory games for kids. A lot of people grew up on the DS or like the handhelds, specifically the handhelds. The DS was a big one. Game Boy Advance was a big one, where these games were catered towards the little kids. And, now Switch, there's no other, there's no other option. There's no other cheaper option other than the Switch Lite that is, can be catered towards kids. So that's the console. If you're going to buy your kid a game system, it's going to be the Switch. Outside of the like garbage, handhelds that they have, the knockoff versions.
Yeah, the Wish.
Yeah, essentially.
Well, they had though, they probably aren't growing up on them, but like the class, the SNES Classic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I think that's more of a novelty as a parent.
That's true.
Wanting to introduce your kids to what you grew up with. And I think they're playing on that a lot. But as far as the kids are concerned, they want to play their games. Yeah. And, what is that introductory game? For everybody, it's a little bit different. You found that Animal Crossing works. I've seen, Go Vacation. We did a podcast episode on Go Vacation. It's perfect for kids. I compare it to Grand Theft Auto for kids because essentially you can kind of free roam, do whatever you want to do with no clear goal. I mean, there are goals, but you don't have to be in there for your goal. Right. You can just go around and mess around and find mini games and just do your thing. And that is fun in itself. And I think kids pick up on that. And I think that's why that game is a little bit pricey or a little bit hard to find, because Go Vacation is such a good introductory game to little kids. But Animal Crossing really is a good one too. They can't get into too much trouble. Like, they can dig up stuff and pick stuff up, but you've been finding where he'll just go into a shop and buy up 700 nets, and then he's maxed out and he can't pick up any more items and he can't dig up any items. And he's been fishing really well, I've noticed. Yeah. So that's really cute. Speaking of, this would be a good insert. I did a mini Zap Chats with Joshua today. So we'll put that in here.
Play it right now.
You're listening to Zap Night's Zap Chats, a monthly video game discussion. Let's go.
Hello, my name is Danny.
Hello, my name is Joshua.
What are you doing today, Joshua?
Welcome.
Are you playing video games?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds nice.
My name is Joshua.
My name is Danny. Welcome to Zap Night. Do you like playing video games?
Yeah, I sure do. But I see if I got my game.
What's your favorite video game?
I don't know.
You don't know? What are you playing right now?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing?
Yup.
Why do you play Animal Crossing?
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you like to fish?
Yup.
Do you like to catch butterflies?
Yeah, I sure do.
You sure do. What do you do with the fossils?
Digging up in them.
What do you do with the fossils?
I don't know. And they put them in the museum.
You put them in the museum? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And what do the fossils turn into?
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Good luck.
What's your favorite animal?
Teddy.
Teddy?
Yeah.
What's his real name? Is it Stitches?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you like playing Animal Crossing, huh?
Yeah.
How many fishes have you caught?
1, 2.
2 fishes? Is that it? Only 2 fishes?
Yep, and 3 fishes.
Do you go to Uncle Danny's Island too?
Yeah.
What does Uncle Danny's Island look like?
Good luck.
Good luck?
Yep.
Okay. Are you all done talking?
Yes.
Okay, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Joshua. Oh, he's so cute. Isn't he adorable?
Good times.
Yeah. Yeah, I was setting up for the podcast and he was sitting down here and we had done this a little bit I've done this a little bit with him when he was real little and he couldn't talk very well, but this time it was like he wanted to talk, so it made it fun.
That was nice. That was nice of you.
Yeah.
His Uncle Danny. Yeah, you'll have your kids here doing the podcast with you soon.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe we'll be playing some games. It'll be different because they're going to want to play their games.
Yeah.
And if I want to do a podcast with them, I have to play their games. So that'll be a challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be fine, but I mean, at what point do you say you've beaten Fortnite? I mean, I guess it'll be one of those games like Stardew, where it's just I play it for a month and then we sit down and talk about it. But yeah,
see what all the cool kids are doing these days.
Yeah, my nephews are definitely getting to that age where sitting down and talking with them about video games will be a thing. It's really interesting to have that. I mean, the podcast is older than yours.
Joshua,
yeah. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Well, to have a love of video games, which of course back then like wasn't as vocally popular. Like no one really talked about being into games. For now the kids are really nurturing that side. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's weird how nerd culture now has turned into the popular thing to be. Where when we were growing up, that was like, oh, you're into video games? That's dumb, you know? Where and secretly everyone was into video games.
Right.
Like I can't say that I knew anyone that didn't have some sort of game system. Even the like popular kids in school, they had something.
Yep.
I mean, one of the more popular kids that I knew growing up, they had a Nintendo 64. One of the guys that was on the podcast with me a while back, he was a popular kid in school too. He was in school and he was a super, PlayStation nerd. Like it's just, everybody. It really was, but back then it wasn't cool to be that way, and now it is.
Yeah, times have sure changed.
Definitely.
Well, and like stores and all that stuff, it's really been embraced everywhere. Like you can't go anywhere and not find something.
I mean, finding Final Fantasy merchandise was not a thing. It was not a thing when we were growing up. There were very specialty stores that had some items for sale, but now Final Fantasy is still not, in my eyes, Final Fantasy is not big enough. Not like Fortnite is big or like Minecraft is big. It's just like we have a big following for Final Fantasy games. So every now and then, like Target will sell t-shirts or, something.
Yeah.
I also think Square Enix doesn't give the permission to sell their logos very often. So, but still, I mean, it's definitely more widespread than it used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so anything else you want to talk about? All right, that sounds good. Well, we'll end it here, guys. Thank you all so much for hanging out and listening to us babble about random stuff. We had no clear direction today, but I think we made something work. So, thanks to you guys for listening. Next podcast episode will be on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.